Insider. Music, dramas, movies, musicals, YouTubers, and more. Anyone who is anyone in their field. The Insider of the Bunch joins us every Wednesday to share insight of the world here on Insider. Today we have a very, very, very special insider here on K-Popin. He is ER specialist Dr. 남궁인 in the studio. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요. 남궁인입니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
First off, I just want to say thank you for your services as a doctor in the ER. Through everything.
Welcome.
Right now. Through everything right
it's
now.
my job.
But still, thank you so much for your services. Okay, so with that aside, we have you here today because you're a doctor, but because you're also an author as well. But let's kind of just focus on you as a doctor. So you are currently working in the ER. 아직도 이제 응급실에서 근무하고 계시는 거죠, 선생님?
네, 지금 현재 대학병원에서
네.
응급실에서 임상조교수로 근무하고 있습니다.
What would that be in English? That title in English?
Title, maybe
Professor on
professor.
call? On
yeah,
call?
Professor on call.
Okay, so professor on call.
actually, Professor on call.
Oh, he speaks English today. I'm so happy. Okay. So, yeah, he would be a professor on call on the ER. So, yes, he still goes to work and he is on the front lines at the moment as well. So, Brooke asked this question. Tiger Blue Eyes asked this question. And Korea is really big on doctor dramas or hospital dramas.
Yeah.
The US as well. Like there's House, there's, Grey's Anatomy,
ER. Yeah.
There's everything.
ER, yeah.
So what's your take on all these different dramas? 선생님이 보셨을 때는 이런 의료 드라마들은 좀 맞는 편인가요? 아니면 좀 현실이랑 좀 많이 멀다고 생각하시나요?
It's quite different.
Okay.
So,
It's different.
So, first, doctor is so clean.
Okay.
Too clean.
Uh-huh.
Too clean. And second, doctor is they're so pretty and handsome. It's quite different.
It's very different.
Yeah.
그런 쪽에선 다른 거예요?
네네.
외모적인 게
네네.
너무 깔끔하고 너무 이쁘고
네네.
잘생기고.
그런데 그래도 그 의사들의 마인드는
네네.
비슷한 것 같아요. 네, 항상 그 따뜻한 마음들이 있으니까 그런 것들을 바탕으로 드라마를 만들었고 그런 것들이 잘 비치는 것 같아요.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he feels like other than appearance-wise, like how they approach the patients and the humanism behind it is all there. He feels like the approach is there as well.
Correct. Yeah.
So I know there's a few doctors that go online. They have like YouTube channels and like they dissect different scenes from like movies. Like I remember Descendants of the Sun. They were like, no way would they do that during a war. They would never do open heart surgery like outside. There's a lot of that. Do you find yourself doing that as well? 혹시 드라마 보시다가 이렇게 막 어떤 장면에서 막 어떻게 수술하고 뭘 하고 뭐 했을 때 저거는 절대 우리가 할 수 없는 건데 왜 이렇게 생각하시게 되나요?
정말 많아요. 그러니까 why they do like that? Stupid things. 이렇게 생각할 때 많은데
네네.
근데 요새는 in these days so many doctors and helps them.
On set with the stories and everything.
그래서 요새는 좀 맞는 편이에요.
오히려.
예.
Okay. So, okay. So he's saying that in the past, yes, he's like, there's a lot of stupid scenes in dramas and movies. But he feels that nowadays, like, doctors do go on set. They help the actors. They help the screenwriters to kind of give an actual mindset of what's going on. When it comes to like being in the ER, especially when I see like Grey's Anatomy or like when I see House or I see any other drama, it seems like nobody wants to go to the ER.
Yeah,
but
actually.
you choose to be there. So I'm kind of curious how that happened.
이게 되게 다양한 환자들이
네.
다양한 상황에 처해서 오게 되는데
네.
약간 좀 메디컬 파트 중에 좀 넓은 파트잖아요.
네.
네. 그런 것들이 좀 호기심이 있었어요. 그래서 좀 공부를 넓게 하고 싶었고
네네.
그다음에 사람들이 정말 필요로 할 때 도움을 주는 의사가 하고 싶었어요. 그래서 그리고 좀 또
그쵸.
죽음을 맞닥뜨려야 되는데
그쵸.
그거를 누군가 책임을 져야 한다면은 제가 하고 싶었어요.
엄청난
생각이
그죠.
들었어요. 예.
너무 큰 책임인데도 사실 그 많은 의사분들이 그게 제일 큰 스트레스일 것 같아요. 같은 다른 분야에 있으면 그거를 굳이 안 보셔도 되는 숫자들이잖아요. 숫자 자체가 좀 많이 올라가기도 하고.
그게 그러니까 마음도 좀 어렵고
그렇죠.
책임도
그쵸.
약간 무한히 올라가는 거죠.
그렇죠.
그런 것들이 어려운데 저는 왠지 그냥 제가 해야만 한다고 생각했어요. 이렇게
그래서
yeah, when I choose around 11 years ago, so young 남궁인, just like that.
was very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he because every time I see like Grey's Anatomy or everybody's like when they're punished, they're sent to the ER. Because they have to do so many different things. They're on call all the time. And he says that out of everything, he's very curious in a lot of different fields. So he wanted to be able to cover a lot of those bases because so many different people come in for so many different reasons into the emergency room. And then he also felt that he says that his young self felt the reason that he needed to be responsible for the deaths that happened in the ER, which a lot of doctors try to avoid for most of their career. He felt that it was his calling to be there, kind of to take responsibility if he can for those situations.
Wow, your translate is so perfect. Wow. Wow. Perfect. Wow. Better than I said.
Better than myself.
Yeah. Wow.
So Brooke was asking this, and I kind of wanted to ask this as well. So you're an author too. You write about love out of everything, but Brooke was asking this. Do you feel that, because I get this too, like some doctors, I go and I'm so uncomfortable because they're so by the book. They're just like, okay, you have this. Okay, like open, like put your shirt up. It's so scientific that sometimes it makes the patient feel sometimes uncomfortable. I know that not everybody does this, but where do you kind of see yourself? Are you more of like a warmer doctor where you try to explain to your patients, or do you find yourself being very by the book?
By the book.
그래요?
Actually, but I'm originally scientist.
Okay, so you started off in the science.
Yeah. 그래서 좀 말하자면 이과적으로 냉철하게 좀 접근을 일단 하는 편이에요.
네네.
딱 뭔가 과학적으로 당황하지 않고 환자들에게 말해야 할 의무가 있으니까요. 그래서 현장에서는 좀 감정을 느끼지 않은 편인데 한편으로는 이제 기록을 한 사람이고 라이터로 이렇게 일을 하고 있으니까 그럴 때는 또 그 사람들이 얼마나 uncomfortable 했을까 뭐 내지는 뭐 그런 것들을
좀 나중에
돌이켜보고 정리하고 생각해서 좀 더 그 과학적인 설명을 할 때 좀 더 월멀하게 설명할 수 있게 그렇게 하려는 편이에요.
Okay. So yeah, to Brooke, to answer your question, he does, because he starts off as a scientist. He approaches a lot of things as scientifically as possible. So sometimes the patients might see him and feel that he might be a little bit on the colder side or by the book. And the reason is because he does have to try to, of course, go in scientifically, and he needs to give them the facts. And if your doctor's really emotional when he's giving you the news, I think that would also kind of be uncomfortable as well. So he tries to give the facts as possible, but he also is a writer. And so he tries to kind of recollect a lot of the stuff that he does. And then while he's writing it down, he'll try to think of how uncomfortable maybe the patient was during that time, some of the feelings that he perceived off of them while he was telling them the news for different situations. And so he's able to kind of bring that side out through his writing so that he can organize his thoughts too. With this in talk, you said that you like science as well. Did you always want to be a doctor, or was this just very random? 원래 의사를 하시고 싶으셨나요? 아니면?
아니요. Actually not at all. Not at all.
Not at all?
Yeah. 그냥 글쓰기가 좋았어요.
아, 글이 막 우선이었어.
글이 일단 우선이었어요. 그냥 굳이 하고 싶은 거를 학창 시절에 하나를 골라야 한다면은 그냥 글쓰기였어요. 이게 so beautiful job, as you know. 그냥 이 감정들이 좋았고 써서 이렇게 느껴지는 것들이 좋았어요. 근데 my math grade is better than right. Korean, so I'm not good at.
현실이 좀 달랐던군요.
네. 그래서 그 공부를 좀 열심히 하다 보니까 뭐 그냥 또 입학하고.
아.
네. 그래서 입학을 한 다음에 꾸준히 쓰다 보니까 또 작가 되고 이랬던 것 같아요.
그러니까 작가도 겸하면서 의사 천재시군요.
아니, no.
He's a genius. He just very blatantly and humbly said that he's a genius. So apparently he was more interested in writing. He always thought that writing was more intriguing. He felt that it was a great way to express his feelings. He thought it's just a beautiful aspect of life. But he realized as a student, his math grades were a lot better than his writing grades. And so he kind of followed what he did well in school, and it kind of brought him here, but he's never given up writing, hence that he's a best-selling author, but he also just admitted that he is a genius as well.
Sorry to say like that.
No. In the ER, I've had my few shares of rushing to the ER as well, but I mean, how do you deal with the emotional roller coaster of the ER?
이게 글쓰기 작업이 어쨌든 다른 직업이 글쓰기가 있으니까 그런 것들이 좀 버틸 수 있게 하는 힘인 것 같아요.
거기서 좀
네.
쓰면서 좀 풀고.
네, 그래서 언제나 아침에 퇴근하거든요. 네, my own driving back to home. When I back to home, I always thinking. What just happened and how can I write the event? 이런 식으로 생각을 계속해서 뭔가 정화하고 뭔가 좀 이렇게 이모셔널 스트레스를 이길 수 있게 하지 않나 그런 생각이 들어요.
그러면 어찌됐든 과학적으로 바라봤을 때는 몸 자체는 반응을 할 수밖에 없잖아요. 지금 막 계속 급한 거잖아요. 업다운. 그러면 몸은 어찌됐든 어느 정도 반응을 할 텐데 마인드 컨트롤을 따로 하시는 건가요? 아니면 그냥 일단은 상황에 맞게
그냥 되져요. 저는 거기서 12년째 일하고 있고,
네네.
예, 그래서 거기 모든 많은 상황들이 익숙해서 딱 그냥 몸이 먼저 그냥 나가요. 예. 그래서 빨리 이 잘린 팔 들고 빨리 뭐 이거 닦고 뭐 이거 누구는 뭐 하고 다 또 롤들이 있잖아요.
그렇죠.
딱 이게 뭔가 어떠한 이벤트처럼 이렇게 쭉 펼쳐지는 거죠. 그러면 이렇게 밑에 그런 제가 지휘하는 말하자면 사람들이 있으니까 누구는 뭐 하고 누구는 뭐 하고 누구는 뭐 하고 누구는 뭐 가져오고 이 동선들이 쭉쭉 보이는 거죠.
그렇죠.
이게 직업상으로. 그 다음에 제가 할 수 있는 찾아서 붙어서 하고 이것들이 거의 약간 오토매티컬.
이제는 생각 굳이 안 해도 이제 나중에 집에 가서 생각 정리하고
그다음 생각 정리를 또 하는 거죠. 근데 그거 너무 급박하니까
그렇죠.
그런 거는 약간 우리끼리도 약간 이런 식으로 얘기해요. 야, 좀 드라마 같지 않나?
매일매일이. Okay, so I mean, I've been to the ER a few times, but it's just even if we watch it on dramas, like it's an emotional roller coaster, like. People are coming in bleeding and somebody's throwing up and
yelling
and crying and freaking out and it's like an emotional roller coaster and somebody's probably drunk and it's just like everything and so he says that
you're so wow.
And he's saying that he uses his writing. He normally does like a night shift, and when he's driving home in the morning, like he has to kind of organize his thoughts, and his writing has kind of helped him deal with the emotional trauma and roller coaster that he goes through on a daily basis when he's in the ER. He tries to think of what he did, recollect the events of the past night, and sometimes he says, like with his doctors and nurses and people, I was like, man, don't we feel like we live in a drama? Because it's just everything is so dynamic in their lives. But he does owe his writing to kind of have himself meditate a little bit more to kind of emotionally get rid of all of that anxiety. And he was saying that he's been in the ER now for 12 years. And so what also helps is that because he's been in it for 12 years, everything is kind of like automatic. He doesn't necessarily get too excited. His body is just like, okay, I'm going to do this. This person's going to do this. This person's going to do that. Everybody's going to be organized. We're going to do this. This arm is severed. We need to do this. Somebody's bleeding. We need to do this. And so it just kind of all plays out for him now instead of him having to be like, what's next? What's next? What am I doing? Where is everybody going? He kind of knows he can scan the ER and kind of know how everybody's going to move.
야,
in the near future.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
my job. Yeah.
That's his job.
Yeah.
Before we go into a song break, this question was one of the number one questions that our listeners kept asking all day today. It was the first question I was supposed to ask you, but I didn't. So I have to ask it now. 오늘 저희 모든 여자 청취자분들이 선생님 들어오시고 제일 먼저 여쭤봐야 된다고 분명히 저한테 그랬거든요. 그래서 지금 저희 곡 듣고 오기 전에 꼭 여쭤봐드릴게요.
네네.
Are you single? If it's not too much to ask.
Yeah, I'm single.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's single. Okay, so I'm going to let you digest that as we go into a song break and come back with more of our Insider in the studio. Tabichi singing Paribari or 8282. And we'll see you guys back after this with our Insider in the studio. All right, K-pop and fan, all Arirang Radio listeners. Today, our interview is going by a lot more energy-packed than I expected, which is great. Today, for our Insider, we have a ER specialist, professor, and author in the studio. And it is Dr. Nam Kung-in. And he clarified it. Mimi, he's single. So that was the biggest question for today. No COVID-19, no books, no ER. Are you single? That was the biggest question for today. So we're going to dive into a little bit about your books. So we have to go into your books. So you have about 4 books out now, about 4 or 5 books. So recently, I translated this as Peaceful Days. You can check me if I was wrong with the translation, but your recent book was out. I've been noticing a lot of your books, the topic, because JC was asking, what genre do you normally write for your books? What genre would you call your books in general?
Essay?
Essays?
Maybe essays, but I called it fiction.
Okay.
Yeah, 그 응급실에 있었던 일 자체를 그대로 쓰기가 좀 어렵잖아요.
그렇죠.
그 의사이기도 하니까. 그래서 실제 있었던 일을 기반으로 하되 약간의 가공을 거친 그래서 fiction. We can call it fiction. Yeah.
Fiction based on
yeah.
facts.
Yep. 그래서 에세이 장르라고 부르기도 하고 그냥 팩션 장르라고도 부르기도 하는 그걸 메인으로 써요.
Okay. So pretty much, you know how he was saying that his main therapy was writing after his shifts? He's pretty much putting those into essays. So he can't, with patient doctor laws and stuff like that, he can't just say so Ishak came to the ER today. He can't write a book about me in the ER. So he pretty much takes a lot of the real incidents that have happened in the ER and he organizes them and he bases those stories off of fact, but of course they are considered fiction too. So if you ever do get a chance to get your hands on any of his books, you will get a chance to relive some of the stuff that he was able to do. Now, I want to see, though, I know that you said that it's your meditation to write, but you have the blog, you have your books, you have your social media account, you're an ER doctor, do you sleep?
Yeah, sure.
선생님 블로그도 하시고 막 책도 내시고 막
I must sleep.
SNS도 열심히 올리시고 막 근데 잠은 주무시는 거죠? 슈퍼맨이세요?
그냥 성실히 살고 있어요. 그래서 혼자 있을 때도 시간표 짜서 이렇게 생활하고요. 몇 시부터 몇 시까지는 무슨 책 읽을 게 많아가지고 몇 시부터 몇 시 무슨 책 읽고 몇 시부터 몇 시는 어떤 글을 이제 써내고 다 되면은 이제 달리기 하고 오고 그다음에 와서 이렇게 피아노 오늘은 이렇게 쇼팽 쳐야 된다 그러면 쇼팽 치고 그리고 자고 일어나서 출근 이런 식으로 이렇게 좀 시간표 짜서 생활해야 돼요. 그러다 이렇게 종종 이런 데도 나오고 방송도 나오고 오늘은 또 고전 문학 강독하는 게 온라인 또 방송이 있어서 네이버랑 그런 것도 하고 등등 좀 바쁘게 지내고 있어요.
본인이 스케줄표를 짜세요? 거의 학교가 계속 생활이 돼 가신 거네요. 거의 지금 고3
거의
고3 수험생.
저도 살다 보면 그런 생각이 들죠. 왜 이렇게 바쁘게 살지? 그런 생각이 그리고 요새는 강연이 많이 없어가지고 그나마 약간 좀
그나마 강연까지 나.
강연 원래 작년에 more than 100 lectures.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, he makes a time graph. You heard me right. He makes a round time graph of, okay, I'm going to read this book and then I'm going to write for an hour and then I'm going to play the piano and I'm going to play this piece today. Then he goes for a run and then if he comes to a broadcast like today, he writes that down. Oh my, he sounds like a high school senior or a college senior during finals, making a graph. And apparently he did over 100 lectures last year too. So these days, because of COVID-19, the lectures have gone down. But still, he lives a very busy life. So he has to try to stay as organized as possible. So I honestly don't really try to talk about the pandemic as much on my program because we have so many amazing news shows here on Arirang Radio that do this. But you're an ER doctor. You're on the front line of all of this. So I think we should do a little bit of questions. So Nur asked a question about why is it that I can't just use running water to wash my hands? 저희 유튜브로 들어온 질문인데요. 왜 흐르는 물로만 손을 닦으면 안 되는지.
이게 보통 우리 소독제를 쓰잖아요. 그러면은 이 소독제가 발라진 다음에 닿아서 이게 마를 때 균이 거의 다 죽어요.
Okay.
하지만 우리가 소독제를 발라보면 알겠지만 소독제라는 게 완벽히 100% 묻지가 않아요. 그래서 이게 균이 좀 살아남을 수가 있거든요. 그래서 흐르는 물은 손에 안 닿을 수가 없어요. 그래서 일단 흐르는 물이 거의 그냥 소독제보다는 더 좋아요. 1번. 그다음에 흐른 물로만 계속 씻어도 사실 웬만큼은 날아가요. 네, 90%는 날아가는데
Okay.
그 10% 정도는 이게 그냥 균 자체가 안 쓸려 내려가고 남아있는 경우가 있어요.
뭐 여기 약간 막 주름 사이 뭐 이런.
주름 사이 같은데. 근데 이 염기성인 비누를 사용하면은 거의 그냥 죽어요.
Okay.
거의 다 죽어요.
그래서
그 10%
플러스
차이. 네,
그
플러스.
10%를 잡기 위한.
그래서 이걸 충분히 손목까지 비누칠 다 하고 흐르는 물에 몇 분 이상 씻으면은 그걸 이제 과학자들이 검사를 다 했어요. 근데 99.9% 날아가요. 한 2분만 넘으면은. 네. 그래서 그냥 과학적인 이유입니다.
과학적으로.
네.
Okay, so Nur and a lot of our other listeners who are just like, okay, so man, I mean, washing my hands with water should help. Why do I need to do soap in the 30 seconds or minute or sing happy birthday twice? Why do I have to do this? So he was saying that if we use the hand sanitizers, they say 99.9% yes. But when we use just hand sanitizers, we have to, number one, help and wait until it dries before it actually kills anything. But of course, we have like nooks and crannies, and it's 99.9%. It's not 100%. So there's chances scientifically that there's a little bit of a germ that's left on there that could cause problems later down the line. So why not just running water? Well, with just running water, he's saying that yes, most of the time, about 90% of germs do go away. So washing your hands with just water is okay. 90%, it's good. Not during a pandemic though. Because, with our little nooks and crannies and the little, wrinkles we have on our hands, that's where germs like to be, and it's not going to get there. So using some type of soap and constantly being able to rub your hands, get in all those nooks and crannies, get everything done up until your wrists is going to help get from 90 to 100. So you're going to get that last 10%. He's just saying it's a scientific fact.
Yeah.
So science said...
Any kind of soap is okay.
Yeah. Any kind of soap.
Please wash your hands.
Please wash your hands.
Please wash your hands.
Please wash your hands.
Yeah.
I want to do kind of like a fun speed kind of quiz or X or O. There was a recent outbreak recently here in Korea with a delivery service. So a lot of people, including myself, are freaking out about receiving boxes and parcels. So with the coronavirus or COVID-19, I can get it off of a delivery package, yes or no?
Nope.
No.
Never.
Okay. Never. Okay.
이게 인체 밖으로 나가면은
Okay.
바이러스가 그렇게 살 수가 없어요, 애초에.
Okay.
네, 그냥 맥시멈이 6시간이라고 하는데 사실은 거의 그냥 나가는 순간 그냥 죽음의 과정으로 바이러스가 간다고 보면 됩니다. 바이러스는 생체 조직에서만 살 수 있거든요. 그래서 그 무생물인 택배로 감염된다는 것 자체가 확률이 너무 낮으니 거의 없다고 봐도 될 정도입니다.
Okay, so no. The virus needs a living host to live. And so the minute that the virus hits something that is not living, it's dying. Like the minute it touches it, it dies. So they say that the virus, the average time that it lives is about 6 hours on a non-living host. So for you to get COVID-19 off of a parcel or a package is no. When it comes to, I've heard this. So even though we're wearing masks, a lot of people like our frontline doctors and nurses, you guys are wearing goggles, and people are saying it's because we can get COVID-19 through our eyes. So this is a yes or no?
Yes.
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 Okay.
찬스는 좀 낮아요.
Okay.
예, 낮지만 이 결국은 이 우리가 스킨은 프로텍션이 된단 말이에요. 한데 이 점막, 입, 구강, 호흡기 이 점막으로 보통 바이러스가 퍼지는데 눈도 점막이라서 드물게 눈으로 상당히 많은 여가의 바이러스가 들어오면은 걸릴 수도 있어요.
그러니까 거의 제 앞에서 누가 재채기하거나 기침을 했을 때 그게 제 눈으로 들어올 수도 있다는 거잖아요.
네, 딱 그 정도.
딱 그 정도.
사실 어려울 것 같잖아요. 눈은 이렇게 감기기도 하고 그래서 많진 않아요.
Okay.
확률이 많지 않은데 눈을 비빈다든지 그러면은 조금 확률이 있을 수 있죠.
Okay.
그래서 우리가 손을 잘 씻어야 되고, 네.
얼굴은 만지지 말라는 얘기가 계속
그렇죠.
나왔던 거겠죠.
네.
Okay. So, yes, we can get COVID-19 through our eyes, but ladies and gentlemen, don't freak out. It's not an airborne virus. So, he's pretty much saying that like if somebody in front of me coughed or sneezed on my face, I could get it, but we blink our eyes. It is an open area, so if we are exposed to the virus, it could come in through our eyes, but just like we can come through our mouth and through our nose and anywhere else that's open. And he's saying that if you had it somewhere on your skin or your hands and you rubbed your eyes, you could get the virus. That's why it's low. It's not impossible, but it doesn't mean that we have to like wear full like like these huge masks around us. Just be careful. Wash your hands.
Wow.
Wash your hands.
You're so smart.
So a lot of people are layering their masks. If they're making one at home, they're putting like tissue paper or like, layers and layers and layers. Is this a good thing?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
No. It's not good.
그러면 마스크 뒤로 이렇게 뭘 집어넣는 게 그렇게 썩 좋지 않은 건가 봐요.
기본적으로 프로텍션 하는 애가 아니잖아요.
그렇죠?
프로텍션 하는 수건이라든지 티슈라든지 그 용도로 만들어진 게 아니기도 하고 그 용도로 만들어진 걸 오히려 가리거나 오히려 뜨게 해가지고 감염 확률 자체를 더 올릴 수가 있어요. 게다가 배양도 잘 돼요. 균이 배양도 돼요. 그 수건이나 티슈로. 여러모로 안 좋습니다.
So towels and tissues do not use.
Please do not. Don't do like that.
Yeah. If you're going to try to put like more tissues behind your mask. So let's say you're using like a towel or a tissue under your mask. And so the mask is not touching your skin directly. It's only going to be causing more room for the virus to come into your nose and mouth and defeat the purpose of the mask. So don't do it. It's not protecting you. So on the news, they're saying that SARS and MERS and all of these are like Ebola, like all of them are coronaviruses, but this one's only being called coronavirus other than COVID-19. So, I mean, are they the same virus? Yes or no?
Yep.
They are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, originally same.
Okay.
이게 코로나 바이러스는 작아서 변이가 되게 뛰어난 바이러스예요. 우리가 인플루엔자 바이러스도 변이가 많고 우리가 계절 감기로 많이 걸리는데 그것보다도 훨씬 작아요. 아예 너무나 간단한 구조라서 변이가 잘 되고 이 치명적이거나 혹은 전염력이 높거나 이런 것들이 잘 나와요. 그래서 최근에 인류에게 발견된 이런 그 바이러스는 대체로 다 코로나예요. 네, 구조상 어쩔 수가 없어요.
Oh, okay. So yeah, SARS, MERS, everything is the same coronavirus. He's saying that it's actually smaller than an influenza virus, which is like our cold flus and stuff like that we've had. And so because of that, he's saying that pretty much all more recent big outbreaks that we've been having are some type of a coronavirus. And it's just because they're so small, they're able to change a lot faster. And because of that, it's harder to catch, which is ew. Next, for the yes or no questions here is, in Korea, we're tracing the people who have been infected.
Yep.
So let's say there's a coffee shop I go to all the time, and they said that somebody came out and there's an affected person there. I want to get my daily coffee, but they're saying to not go within like a week. So don't go to that facility for over a week. Yes or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. just I say, 그 인체 밖으로 바이러스가 나가면은 얼마 못 산다고 했잖아요. 그래서 애초에 일주일 이상 거기를 안 가는 것 자체가 무의미해요. 그 사람이 바이러스를 최악의 경우 뿌렸더라도 이미 다 죽었을 거니까.
그리고 어차피 방역
애초에 그리고 방역팀이 지금 다 가서 방역을
네.
했기 때문에
네네.
오히려 더 안전할 수도 있어요.
오히려.
네. 그래서 사람들이 이렇게 쭉 비고 막 그쪽에 유령 도시 되고 좀 그러잖아요. 이게 공포가 있으니까 그런데 그럴 필요 없어요.
Okay.
네.
So for those of you who are thinking, so if somebody was infected, went to your favorite coffee shop, don't go for a week. No. You don't have to. You can go back. The reason is he just explained to us with the parcel package deal, it doesn't, as soon as it doesn't have a living host, this virus dies. And of course, our cities, especially here in Korea, they're going out and these teams are going out and they are disinfecting everything. So it doesn't have to be a ghost town. You don't have to not go to your favorite restaurants, especially if the restaurants are constantly saying that they disinfect everything on a daily basis. It actually might be safer than some other places because they're disinfecting on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's right.
So definitely, if you like coffee as much as me, don't feel bad about going to your favorite coffee shop.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about it.
Please.
Fam, if you have any other questions about COVID-19 with our ER specialist in the studio, I know we normally don't talk about this on my show, but I feel that since he's here, let's get all our questions out. Let's ask him all these different questions, but let's take another quick song break before we come back and continue with your questions. We're going to take a listen to Dalmatian with their track ER and more of our insiders coming up next. All right, K-pop and fam and all Arirang Radio listeners, today's Insider Day, we have ER specialist, professor, and author, and all-around Superman in the studio today. Dr. Nangwin is here in the studio with us, and we've got a lot of great questions coming in. So Nur's question is very scientific. I know he's going to give it a very scientific answer, but I feel that a lot of our listeners might approach COVID-19 right now in this way. So Nur was asking if a person has a chronic illness or a disease or an underlying
blah, blah.
whatever, and they pass away with being infected by COVID-19, what's the cause of death?
COVID-19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything else led to?
Late to, yeah.
Okay. So, Nur, I hope that answered. So if they have underlying diseases, that just made them more vulnerable to COVID-19. But in the end, COVID-19 was the reason why it pushed them over the edge. So I hope that answered your question. Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people are asking this right now because they don't know what's going on.
하지만 뭐 찬스가 올라가니까요. 걸릴 찬스도 올라가고 사망률도 올라가니까 의학에서는 그 모든 걸 다 적지만 어쨌든 왜 죽었냐라고 한다면은 COVID-19.
Okay. So yeah, I mean in a death report they will write everything down. They had underlying heart disease or whatever, diabetes, whatever, but the official cause of death would probably be COVID-19 in that situation. All right. So Lenny was saying, how do we go about public transportation in this pandemic? Because since the virus has been spreading, I hesitate to take public transportation. 지하철이나 버스나 이런 데서는 좀 스스로 좀 안전하게 탈 수 있는 방법들이 있는 건가요?
그냥 일반적인 방역 수칙을 지키기만 하면은 일단은 되는 걸로 권고를 하고 있습니다. 그래서 마스크 무조건 차고요. 그 다음에 손 깨끗이 씻고 그 다음에 최대한 사회적 거리두기 있죠. 거리를 이렇게 지켜가지고 타는 게 가장 최선의 방식입니다. 네.
Yeah, so hand sanitizers, washing your hands, having stuff on you, of course wearing a mask, and just trying to stay as far away from the passengers as possible in public transportation is going to help as well. Mimi has some background in medicine as well, and she loved working with the heart. She loved it. So she wants to ask you, is there anything you like in all of the practices that you do? Whenever there's this kind of patient, you take it with glee. 좀 좋아하는 저희 청취자분이 이쪽 간호사 쪽을 좀 공부했던 분인 것 같은데요. 본인은 좀 심장적인 환자분들이 들어가거나 그러면 이제 꼭 한번 들어가서 같이 배우고 싶거나 이제 좀 도와주고 싶어 한다고 하셨는데 선생님 그 많은 분야 중에서 이런 환자들은 제일 흥미롭고 꼭 좀 케어를 해주고 싶고 좀 그런 분야가 있나요?
저도 약간 심장 쪽 저도 그런 것 같아요. 좀 다이나믹한 게 있고 좀 중환 환자들 또 중증 외상 많이 다친 사람들 이런 사람들이 저는 좀 또 살려내는 약간 보람이 있어서 그런 쪽이 있고요. 또 그 응급실에서 이론상으로 가장 익스트림 시츄에이션이 그 하트 트라우마거든요. 하트 트라우마. 그래서 하트 트라우마로 심정지가 나면은 토라코토미라고 현장에서 이 립 커팅을 해야 돼요. 립 커팅. And it's 3 립 커팅. And 그 팔을 집어넣어 가지고 그 해야 되는 처치가 있는데 이게 그 extreme ER treatment. Yeah.
Oh,
so interesting.
It's very interesting. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's like Operation all over again, the game Operation. Okay, so he's saying that he's also into hearts too. He seems to be attracted to the most intense patients. So with the most exterior trauma or maybe heart. And he's noticed that in the ER, anybody who is like on the deathbed is mostly heart patients. So he does find himself going into heart a little bit more. He was explaining a very detailed procedure where like when it gets like really big, like they have to open up the rib cage and like stick the arm in there and like massage the heart and ooh.
You should do. And that's my job.
Yeah, and Mimi says breaking open chests
really?
is my favorite.
Yeah. Also, he says, really?
Ooh, don't stop imagining. Stop imagining. Stop imagining. Stop imagining.
Come on, it's my job.
Oh no, yeah, it is your job.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious because I actually wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid, but
really?
I can't see blood. Did you ever have to overcome this? 혹시 저는 피를 못 보거든요. 그러니까 영화에 나오는 잔인한 장면을 너무 잘 보는데 제가 실제로도 제가 스스로 피를 많이 흘려도 막 몸이 막 어쩔 줄 모르거든요. 선생님은 그런 적은 한 번도 없어요?
전혀 없었어요. 네. 너무 괜찮았어요. 너무 잘 봤어요.
그러니까 ER에 계시겠죠.
뭐 어쨌든 많은 그 영향이 좀 있었죠. 아, 난 좀 괜찮구나. 네. Some cruel parts.
So it's very fascinating for you.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating.
I don't
Wow.
care.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
This is incredible. With his English, though, I'm constantly being tempted to ask him to be a weekly guest. It's like health expert, doctor of the week. Like he can actually help us with different things. I wish I could. We'll think about it though. When it comes to what you've done up until now, I know that you've written this down in a lot of your books, and there's probably many different patients. But is there any patient that still inspires you to this day, or is like one of the most memorable patients that you've ever had?
옛날에 저 좀 전공의 시절에 루게릭 ALS, 루게릭 환자분이 계셨는데 그분이 어쨌든 근육마비라서 한 3년에 걸쳐서 계속 앓다가 결국은 bedridden이 되고 결국은 cannot respond 해가지고 죽어가잖아요. 그 과정을 딱 거치신 분이셨어요. 근데 심정지가 오면 우리 그 살리지 말자라고 가족끼리 합의가 된 상태였는데 하필 딸이 간호사여가지고 그래서 살려낸 거예요. CPR 해서 살려냈어요.
네.
그래서 왔는데 막상 살려놨는데 다시 심정지가 오면은 죽어야 되는 상황인 거죠.
그렇죠.
근데 이렇게 어머니가 깨난 거예요. 그래서 또 왜 살렸냐 이렇게 된 거죠. 그래서 저희끼리 어쨌든 치료를 하고 퇴원을 시키려는데 다시 심정지가 난 거예요. 그래서 이제 아무것도 안 하고 손 안 대고 그냥 죽는 거를 바라봐야 되는데 하필 이제 그래서 딱 1분 후에 죽으니까 준비하시고 1분 동안 임종을 지키세요. 이렇게 하면서 앞에 이렇게 서 있었어요. 혹시 살아날까. 근데 딸 3분이랑 그 남편분이 1분 동안 망자한테 하는 말 계속 하는 거예요. 여보 사랑했다고. 내 평생 앞으로 사랑했다고. 내 목숨을 바칠 수도 있다고 막 잘 가라고 이런 얘기를 계속 하는데 너무 울음을 찾기 힘든 거예요. 이게
그 상황에서
그게 아무리 타인일지라도
그렇죠.
마지막 그 죽어가는 사람한테 하는 얘기 그거 다 듣고 있기 어렵거든요.
그렇죠.
진짜 마지막. 그래서 그 사망하셨습니다 얘기하는데 그 말이 제대로 안 나오는 거예요. 그래서 막 그 뒤에 막 도망쳐가지고 run away 하는.
그러면서 마무리를 하셨군요.
cried all day.
Oh no.
네.
Okay, so it was back when he was still more of a younger doctor, an intern, and it was a patient that had ALS, Lou Gehrig's, and they made a doctor-patient agreement that the doctors would not do CPR to help them come back to life, but one of the three daughters was a nurse, and so went against the doctor privileges because their family, after having one of the heart attacks, was able to bring the patient back to life, and then they literally just had to wait until it was like the last 60 seconds, and they were there just to like see the family say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you for the last 60 seconds. And he said it was really hard for him to say, you know, like she has passed, and to be very patient about that as well. We're over time. 저희 시간 넘었다고 밖에서 난리 났습니다. 선생님 오늘 나와주셔서 정말 감사하고요.
너무 좋으세요. 익스프레션 so perfect.
기회 되신다면
네.
다음에 한 번 더 나와주시길 바랍니다.
네.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yujin is taking me out of the studio with Tata, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.